You have this one, I have an extra.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
I want to say good morning to everyone. I think we also have members who are coming on board. I just want to say a special thank you and glad that everyone is able to participate this morning. Which is it's a blessing to all of us as we kind of have looked over some of the climatic conditions we've had. One of our sister states not far from here, so glad that everyone is able to get through safely that little period of inclement weather and ice that we had there. Madam Clerk, do we have enough yet?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I believe we can go ahead and get started.
Okay, we'll wait a few more minutes. Let's wait a few more minutes for some of our members to come online. Okay, all right. Today is Friday, the 26th of February, and this is our monthly meeting of the Central Virginia Transportation Authority. So welcome to everyone that we had not said good morning to you prior to this time. Thank you for being with us. And we're glad you're able to participate with a new person on the block that we also affectionately call CVTA. At this time, with your approbation, if you care to stand, we would go with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Boston, this is my perennial question to you. Do we have to read this, or we can forego reading of the virtual meeting statement?
Yes, sir. As has been the practice over the past few meetings, the virtual meeting statement and the opportunities for folks to participate in this meeting has been posted along with the agenda and is ready for public consumption on our website. So we don't, we're not required to read through the statement at this time, but we'd be happy to take any questions or comments that anyone might have in terms of their ability to participate.
Okay, each member heard that statement. Does you have a question? Okay, if not then, Madam Clerk, we'll move toward the roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'll start with Town of Ashland, Mr. Hodges.
Here.
Charles City County, Mr. Coda. Chesterfield County, Vice Chair Carroll.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Goochland County, Mr. Spoonhauer.
Here.
Hanover County, Mr. Peterson. I'll circle back to Mr. Peterson. I think he's here. Henrico County, Chair Thornton.
Here.
New Kent County, Ms. Page.
Good morning, here.
Good morning. Powhatan County, Mr. Williams.
Here.
City of Richmond, Mayor Stoney.
Here.
Virginia House of Delegates, Delegate McQueen.
Good morning, here.
Senate of Virginia, Senator McClellan.
Here.
Commonwealth Transportation Board, Mr. Brown.
Here.
DRPT, Ms. Mitchell.
Here.
VDOT, Commissioner Britch.
Here.
GRTC Transit System, Ms. Tim.
Here.
RMTA, Ms. Dean.
Here.
And I want to circle back to Hanover County, Mr. Peterson. Can you hear me?
Nicole, Mr. Peterson's having trouble connecting, so he may join us in a few, but I'll let you know when he does.
Thanks, Chad. This concludes the roll call for attendance, and Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, Ms. Parsons. We now move to administrative items. The first item is A1, consideration of amendments to the action meeting agenda. Are there any amendments? Okay, hearing none, could I get a motion for acclamation?
So move, sir. Kevin Carroll.
And get a second?
The second, Patricia Page.
Motion has been made and properly second. And so therefore, we will make sure we have that as having been done. Okay, approval of January the 29th, 2021 CVTA action meeting minutes. And we do need action on this. Mr. Parsons, can this be done by acclamation? Do we have to vote on this?
Yes, sir. We typically ask for a vote on the approval of the
Okay.
meeting minutes.
All right.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman, David Williams.
Mr. Hodges seconds.
Motion is made and properly second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All right.
Any nays? Okay, all right. Then the minutes have been approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Canova Peterson, I apologize for being late. I had a little problem getting connected this morning, but I am here.
Most important thing that you are here. Welcome, Mr. Peterson. Welcome. All right. Okay, now we go to A3, the open public comment period. Mr. Boston, do we have anyone who has written in, or do we have any persons?
No, sir, Mr. Chair. We checked this morning and did not have any comments through our other channels, and did not receive any previous request for consideration of comments or requesting speaking time. So at this point, we have no other open public comments.
Okay, thank you so very much. As for my chair report, I'd like to do two things. Number one, I want to also give kudos out to our fantastic staff And particularly for our lawyer, I think I owe him an apology. I kind of missed him last time we were talking. So, Mr. Gregory, you are a needed part in this big change. So
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Much appreciated.
now, I want to do something a little bit different here. We have one of our members who we want to. This is a moment. Let me say it this way. I'm gonna give out some metaphorical flowers. Why? This is February, and one of our august members, GRTC, has celebrated Black History Month through honoring essential workers. So very briefly, I'd like to kind of go over what they have done. I think this is an honor to all of us. Each year in recognition of Black History Month, GRTC celebrates the accomplishments and achievements of local African Americans from Virginia. This year, GRTC recognized the accomplishments of essential workers, past and present, in the areas of education, healthcare, public service, and public transportation. Now, I will only highlight 2 of the 4 recipients. First one I'd like to mention is Mrs. Jenny Bullock, who joined GRTC in 1978 as an operator. She was promoted in 1980 as a transportation supervisor. In her role as transportation supervisor, she shattered 2 glass ceilings, becoming the first African-American female operator and transportation supervisor. Starting her position as a temporary one, she worked diligently to complete a 26-year career. The second person that I want to highlight is Mr. Elvin R. Cosby, who started his career in Henrico County in 1946. In the Department of Public Works, Mr. Cosby began as a laborer and was eventually promoted to a maintenance supervisor. He was also a mentor and inspiration to many workers in the department. Mr. Cosby is the personification of the work ethic. In honor of his service and dedication, the county established the Elvin R. Cosby Award in 2015. 3 years later, the county unveiled a road called the Elvin Cosby Way. Mr. Cosby retired in 2019 after working, watch this number I'm going to give you, 73 years in Henrico County. So, metaphorical flowers to all of the 4 recipients, but especially to Mrs. Bullock and Mr. Cosby, and also want to thank Ms. Tim and our august organization, GRTC, for this effort. Mr. Parson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If you're ready, I can move into the activities report. The only item of business that I wanted to share with the group today was that an update on House Bill 1926. This was Delegate McQuinn's bill adding the Port of Virginia to the authority, the Central Virginia Transportation Authority. That action did pass it passed the House and then passed the Senate, I believe, on the 23rd. So that bill is moving forward, and we can expect, I believe, that the Port of Virginia will be joining the authority post haste once all the signatures are out of the way. So congratulations to the port, and staff looks forward to working with them as a part of the authority and moving the region forward together.
Congratulations to the board. And this is for Mr. Parson, information only?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Now we move to B, committee reports. First is 6A, CVTA Finance Committee update. Mayor Stoney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to everyone. I want to begin the CVTA finance report first with to say thank you, and it is a continued honor to work with the members of the Finance Committee on key financial policies to help move the authority forward. We've been working on a number of items to include the following. First, item A, the draft memorandum of understanding MOU regarding fiscal services. First, I can say that the fiscal agent agreement for Chester is complete. The bank account is open and all localities have received their first transfer of local funds. The second transfer of funds has also occurred and are for CVTA local funds for the month ending December 31st, 2020. Today, the Finance Committee brings before you the recommended MOU for fiscal services between the authority and the city of Richmond. These services range from serving as the contact with the Office of the Auditor of Public Accounts for the authority's annual financial audit process, and to monitoring and maintaining accounting records. Mr. Chair, the Finance Committee recommends the approval of this MOU between the authority and the city of Richmond to provide specific services to the authority and by the board.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any questions on this particular item, anyone? Any members? Okay, and with this one, I think Ms. Foster would do the vote, right?
Yes, sir, please.
Chairman, it's Kevin Carroll, make a motion to approve.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, Patricia Page, I second.
Okay, I think I heard the,
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Carroll made the motion and Ms. Page seconded it. It is properly before the board for a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Parsons, do you recommend that we also have a roll call vote for this one, or the normal process?
Yes, sir. We recommend roll call vote for all three of these items.
Okay, all right. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. The authority will now be voting on item 6A, the draft memorandum of understanding regarding fiscal services. Town of Ashland, Mr. Hodges.
Aye.
Chesterfield County, Vice Chair Carroll.
Aye.
Goochland County, Mr. Spoonhour.
Aye.
Hanover County, Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Henrico County, Chair Thornton.
Aye.
New Kent County, Ms. Page.
Aye.
Powhatan County, Mr. Williams.
Aye.
City of Richmond, Mayor Stoney.
Aye.
Delegate McQuinn.
Aye.
Senator McClellan.
Aye.
NCTB, Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Thank you. That concludes the roll call for item 6A.
Okay, item 6B.
Mr. Chairman, Canova Peterson. A question for Mr. Gregory. When a standing committee makes a recommendation, is it necessary to have a motion and a second?
No, sir, it's not necessarily. It's perfect. The report itself serves as the motion and the second, essentially. So all you really need is a vote. It's just a sort of a conventional thing that has been done, but it's not absolutely necessary under the rules of procedure.
Thank you. Just a clarification on that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. As an old parliamentarian, that was starting to concern me as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Mr. Chairman, can I continue with
Yes, please.
the Finance Committee report?
Yes.
Okay, now we're on to item B, work status report for the invoice from Plan RVA for quarters 1 and 2, with Plan RVA completing 9 of 14 startup deliverables to date. The Finance Committee has reviewed and recommends for your approval for payment the Plan RVA invoices for quarter 1 $52,669, and quarter two, $67,269. The total for both invoices are $119,938. Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee recommends approval of such payments for quarter one and quarter two.
Okay, you heard the report. Any questions from any members of the committee? Okay, before the roll call vote, the chair would appreciate someone putting this in and give a second for this report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The authority will now be voting on item 6B, the invoices for quarters 1 and 2. Town of Ashland, Mr. Hodges.
Aye.
Chesterfield County, Vice Chair Carroll.
Aye.
Goochland County, Mr. Spoonhour. Hanover County, Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Henrico County, Chair Thornton.
Aye.
New Kent County, Ms. Page.
Aye.
Powhatan County, Mr. Williams.
Aye.
City of Richmond, Mayor Stoney.
Aye.
Delegate McQuinn.
Aye. Aye.
Senate of Virginia, Senator McClellan.
Aye.
CTB, Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Thank you. That concludes the roll call for item 6B.
Mr. Chairman, I want to move on to item 6C, the draft financial policies and procedures Vervet revisions. The Finance Committee has before you recommended revisions to the CVTA financial policies and procedures. The committee has recommended approval of these policies and procedures as relative to the banking services, financial management, and procedures for the authority. In addition, the Finance Committee has also reviewed the administrative roles and responsibilities developed among CVTA supporting financial management partners. The committee deems these prudent processes for Plan RVA, Chesterfield, and the City of Richmond in the financial agreement of the authority. So, Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee recommends approval of the financial policies and procedures for CVTA as revised.
Commissioners, you've heard the report. Are there any questions? At this time, we'll take the roll call vote.
The authority will now be voting on item 6C, the financial policies and procedures for the CVTA. Town of Ashland, Mr. Hodges.
Aye.
Chesterfield County, Vice Chair Carroll.
Aye.
Goochland County, Mr. Spoonhour.
Aye.
Hanover County, Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Henrico County, Chair Thornton.
Aye.
New Kent County, Ms. Page.
Aye.
Powhatan County, Mr. Williams.
Aye.
City of Richmond, Mayor Stoney.
Aye.
Delegate McQuinn.
Aye.
Senator McClellan.
Aye.
And CTB, Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Thank you. That concludes the roll call for item 6C.
Mr. Chairman, I want to say thank you, and that concludes the report of the Finance Committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. All right. Now we go to B7, CVTA Technical Advisory Committee. Mr. Todd, you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, everyone. The last CBTA TAC meeting was held on February 8th. The primary items discussed are the 4 items listed under this agenda item. I'm going to cover the first one, and I believe Ms. Tim will be kind enough to update us on the Regional Public Transportation Plan and Transit Service Governance Report. And then I'm going to turn it back to Chet to cover the item related to the member spending plans, because there is action requested under that item. So the regional project prioritization was covered at the last TAC meeting. The action that came out of that was the formation of a subcommittee to begin working on that process. Many of the localities are represented on that subcommittee, as are DRC, as well as VDOT and Virginia Department of Rail and Public Transportation. Chesterfield was elected as chair of that subcommittee. Hanover was elected vice chair, and we agreed to meet bi-weekly beginning, I think the first meeting was last Thursday. The next meeting will be next Friday. And then again, every 2 weeks after that, the goal is to have that draft process recommended to go to the CVTA in the month of May. So our goal is to wrap up beginning of May and have that vetted through the full committee by end of May. Any questions on that? If not, I will move on to the regional public transportation plan, and Ms. Tim, if you will cover that.
Any questions to Mr. Yule on anything that he reported? Okay.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. The GRTC has been moving through the process of developing our regional transportation plan for the use of local and state and federal and regional funding for the FY 2022. Through that process, we've been coordinating with the RRTPO as required through the legislation, but we're also making sure that we engage the public. And we have a public meeting coming up on March the 4th from 5 to 6 p.m. We encourage anyone who has interest in helping to define how the funding and service is put into effect in FY22 to attend the meeting. It's been a robust process, I believe, internally with our stakeholders and with our staff through the jurisdictions, and we look forward to engaging the public. And that is the end of the report.
Any questions, anyone? Okay. Let's see, that was the public transportation plan next. Also, we have a transit service governance report.
Mr. Chair, I can take that. This is Chet Parsons.
Okay.
We are moving forward through the Technical Advisory Committee of the CVTA to work with AECOM and the ENO Center for Transportation on developing the transit service governance report that is spelled out in the legislation setting up the CVTA. We have held a kickoff meeting with that consultant team, and they are setting up milestones and doing their initial research to develop this governance report. Part of the process is taking part by regional stakeholders in one-on-one interviews with the consultant team to understand both existing conditions and any concerns, any celebrations that people want to share regarding the current setup. And then the consultant team will bring in their national expertise to share best practices from other areas of the country and prepare this report for the Governor and General Assembly by the end of June. We will be bringing back updates to both the TAC and the CBTA before that date, so that it is known by all of you and your technical staffs about what the progress is. Obviously, we have folks at all levels that are involved as part of the steering committee for this report, and we're moving forward post haste to get this completed and returned to the General Assembly as required. Be happy to take any questions on that. Otherwise, I can move on to item D.
Question on the transit service governance report. Anyone? Okay, if not, Mr. Parsons.
So item D is related to certification reporting of member spending plans. This is this is focused on the 50% revenues that go back to local governments. There are two, just as a little bit of background, there are two parts of the guidance of the CBTA that relate to spending and a certification of the use of the revenues so that these funds can continue to come into the CBTA in future years. The first I'll highlight, but it's not the focus of today's discussion, is that at the end of each fiscal year, there are audit requirements that are spelled out in the code that the Finance Committee will most likely take the lead on to go back and look at the actual expenditures by each member government and making sure that the use of those funds went to the purposes outlined, and the intent of the use of the revenues was for transportation purposes, as outlined in the code. The second item, which is what we're presenting today, is more of an intent to use, and we are working this through the technical committee. Each member of government has submitted their expected use of revenues for FY21. We do have that on the website, as well as, well, I thought I had it, and I'll share that in a second. We have that on the website, and we sent it out to members. The idea here is that this is a non-binding document, but it is something that that each member can use to share with the public and be transparent with member jurisdictions.
Mr. Parsons?
Yes, sir.
Can I interrupt you for a moment? Then we have a member who has a question. Mr. Coda, do you have a question? Okay, I apologize. I thought I saw an icon that had a question.
I believe Mr. Cotto was just informing everyone that he was present earlier in the meeting.
Yes, sir. So I've shared on the screen. Obviously, it's very hard to read. This is symbolic more than anything, but each member government has submitted their intent for use of local funds in fiscal year 21. So that's between now and the end of June. Our goal is to use this as a template to start to work through the technical advisory committee to establish the spending plan intent for fiscal year 22. That would need to come back. We plan for that to come back to the authority before the start of next fiscal year, which will be July 1, and present that for review. We do have our recommendation is in the agenda packet, and we would certainly take any questions on what was sent out earlier. I did want to highlight that what I'm showing on the screen and what's on the website is a little bit different than what was sent out to members earlier. We did make one slight change to the town of Ashland. They had previously said that they did not intend to use any funds in fiscal year 21, and have since asked to include operations and maintenance as one of the expenditure items. So that slight update was made to the table, and that's what's available on the website now for public consumption. But the recommendation of the TAC is to recommend acceptance of the member locality spending plans and authorize the TAC to develop the format for fiscal year 22. The intent here is to use this same format and update it as needed as TAC identifies, but this is a good start and a good foundation for developing the future year spending plans as well. I'd be happy to take any questions. Again, the recommendation is for acceptance. This is not something that needs to be formally adopted due to the nature of the intent.
Any questions from Mr. Parsons?
Mr. Chair, Patricia, I have a question, sir.
Please.
My question is, we have submitted with, for FY21 short notice, our plan. And so it's my understanding that the plan is non-binding. However, we can send in a amendment or a revision if other highway repairs or whatever the project becomes a necessity that can move up. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, Ms. Page, and I would ask the TAC chair, Todd Ure, to step in it also if needed. I think the idea is that this is the non-binding nature of this spending plan is that it doesn't lock you in on any particular projects. You can make adjustments to that as needed. We will capture the changes in the year-end audit through the Finance Committee and make sure that everything is covered and we have a good accounting practice for the actual expenditures of these local funds.
Okay, thank you.
Very good question. Any other questions? Okay, I think it's very important for the members. I'm so glad that Ms. Page did ask a question. That you get as familiar with this so that you're comfortable with this and we don't have any surprises, okay? Action is requested on this. I think this is for roll call action also.
Mr. Chair, this is the same type of arrangement as the Finance Committee. The TAC has recommended the action, so we think that we recommend just taking the roll call vote.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and take the roll call for item 7D. Town of Ashland, Mr. Hodges.
Aye.
Charles City County, Mr. Coda.
Aye.
Chesterfield County, Vice Chair Carroll.
Aye.
Goochland County, Mr. Spoonhour.
Aye.
Hanover County, Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Henrico County, Chair Thornton.
Aye.
New Kent County, Ms. Page.
I'm going to vote aye, but I didn't hear them. I didn't hear who made the motion.
There was no motion required for this item, Ms. Page.
It was a committee report, ma'am.
Okay, aye.
Powhatan County, Mr. Williams.
Aye.
City of Richmond, Mayor Stoney.
Aye.
Virginia House of Delegates, Delegate McQuinn.
Aye.
Senator Virginia, Senator McClellan.
Aye.
And CTB, Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Thank you. That concludes the roll call for item 7D.
Thank you so very much. Okay. Now we go to other business, and so this is the moment in time for any member like to express him or herself about any concern. If not, august members, that our next meeting is on March the 26th of this year. And I'm sure at the same bat time. Any comments? Well,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir.
Canova Peterson. Couldn't get off mute there for a second under comments. But I would suggest to our committee that in light of the governor's recent adjustments to the COVID restrictions and what have you, that it might be time for us to consider reconsider going back to face-to-face meetings in upcoming meetings rather than virtual. I think it makes it more available to the general public than the strictly the Zoom meetings. So I would suggest we think about that for the upcoming meetings.
Just a moment, Ms. Peterson, may have a response.
Mr. Chair, this is Chet Parsons. I think that we will certainly investigate the options to meet in person, and we'll work with you and Vice Chair Carroll to determine the next steps in making that decision. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this is Carlos Brown. I would just say that as we consider those options, we probably need to continue to have a virtual option. I think, as are many of the other bodies. I mean, although there are bodies that create the option for some individuals participate in person, I think the virtual option has continued to be available in most public bodies, and I would think that we would behave accordingly.
Mr. Chairman, Canova Peterson, I would agree with Mr. Brown completely on that.
Beautiful part about free speech. United is very good. Okay, all right.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, any other pearls of wisdom before we go?
Mr. Chair, Kevin Carroll, I'd be more than happy to see if the VDOT facility could host the next meeting. Again, I really would like y'all to see what a fantastic facility that VDOT now has. It's quite impressive. And so it would be a good venue for us. I think there's plenty of room for us to safely do it. So if it's the will of the committee to meet in person, we'll try and make that happen. And I agree wholeheartedly with Mr. Brown that it is still very appropriate for us to continue to allow for virtual as part of the meeting. I think it's actually worked out very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair, for those comments. Okay, having anyone else? Okay, with Godspeed, this meeting is adjourned, and keep safe.
Chair.